Greetings, folks. Welcome to part 2 of Connecting the Dots. Paul Collins, who has bought the Old Crown Paints factory in Kulok, resides in Bandon in County West Cork. In 2016, Paul Collins was a director of Coolfather Development Limited, and they were placed in NAMA with a judgment of over 45 million euros. We know that NAMA was set up in 2009 by the Irish government to address the banking crisis triggered by the collapse of the property market. What people now have made contact with me who were owed money from Coolfather Limited have said, Michelle, can you ask Paul Collins the question now? What did he do with this money that he sold for the sale of 250 houses he sold at, I believe, an average of 150,000 euros? And if he sold 250 of them, that's 37.5 million euros. And at the time when he went in, he said that he had a turnover of 26 million euros. Now, the question people who are very, very angry, I suppose, at the fact that they weren't paid for works they've done with Coolfather Limited. They've told me, I believe they're going to come knocking in his door now, looking for the monies that are owed, because he's flush with cash now. But if he went into NAMA for 45 million euros and then there's 37.5 odd million euros for the sale of 250 homes, the question, Paul Collins, now you need to answer is, what have you done with that money that you've sold for these 250 houses? How much did you get for the sale of these, and where is that money? Because I believe, was there not certain conditions with NAMA that if monies weren't shown up at the time, or wherever they were gone or placed somewhere else, that there'd be penalties? That was my understanding of it. But we'll dig a little bit deeper into that. Now, I also believe that the man funding Paul Collins is Peter McGarry in buying up all these iPass centres all over the country. When I dug a little bit deeper into Peter McGarry, I believe he's a native of Kildare with an address in Switzerland. He claims from his own LinkedIn page he's a founder of the Earth Foundation and Sustainable Investors. Then I also note that this Peter McGarry was a senior portfolio manager and partner of Garda Capital Partners in Switzerland for over 9 years. Now, who the hell are Garda Capital Partners? These have over 20 years of experience deploying relative value strategies across fixed income markets for institutional investors. Garda Capital Partners, I believe, has offices in Minnesota, Switzerland, Denmark, Geneva, Florida, Copenhagen and New York. But we'll keep updated on that, because what's happening in Kulok is absolutely appalling. To see the way the whole protest thing is going there, and the paint factory has been burnt twice now, I believe. And there we see images of the Riot Squad and throwing around our national flag. Like, nowhere else in the world would that be allowed to happen. Like, you think of America, look at the pride. Everyone in America nearly has a flag outside in their garden, outside their front door. We need pride back now into our country again. And I'm hoping that our Minister for Justice, Helen McEntee, will intervene and just bring peace to this situation in Kulok. We also see that J.D. Vance of Ohio, he's Donald Trump's vice president pick, said that the Republican National Convention last week said that there were alarm bells sounding now in relation to the free speech erosion in Ireland as Ireland seeks to legislate expression of thought. Vance has addressed a letter to the Irish UN ambassador, Geraldine Bryan Nason, I believe, and he expressed concerns about the hate speech legislation pending with the Oireachtas. And he made reference to our former president, Eamon de Valera, who was imprisoned for sedition in 1918. And he's pleading now with J.D. Vance, with the Irish government, not to pass this legislation through. So that's a very interesting take on it as well. Look, I see myself, you know, I'm only speaking the truth, and I'm well protected under Article 40 of my personal rights and my fundamental rights in free speech in relation to what I'm telling you on my social media platforms. We see there, and we learned that George Soros and his son Alex Soros is allegedly the man funding the NGOs and far lefts, including Michelle O'Neill from Sinn Féin in Ireland. And George Soros has himself said he doesn't look at all at the social impact consequences of what he's doing. He basically is there, he said, to just make money, and he doesn't believe in God. Look, I also, you know, had an incident there now, many incidents there during the political campaign where I've been harassed by a gentleman who calls himself Kevin McCarthy from Abbeydorney. I'm sick of being harassed by this man on the phone. I believe he's political affiliations with a certain dynasty political family in Kerry, and I have now made a formal complaint to the Gardaí, and they have in Listowel, and they have advised me that they'll be back to me on Monday in relation to this. Because, you know, I'm telling the truth, but people harassing people on the phones, you know, at all kinds of times, I'm not going to certainly put up with that anymore. And nobody is certainly going to get away with treating me like that. So look, guys, it's all to play for. You see now what I'm up against, but if anyone would like to join my team now in canvassing with me for the upcoming general elections, please contact me at info@michellekeane.ie and join my team. Because look, I'm going all out now, guys, to win a seat in Kerry and represent ye, the great people of Kerry and Ireland, in Dáil Éireann. So look, I'm keen on my county, and please give me your number one in the general elections. Gura míle maith agaibh.